download. And then I'm going to share the there we go. We're going to share the agenda just in case you guys don't have that up. Okay, can everybody see that?
Yep, we can see it.
Perfect. Okay, I was going to introduce our new advisor, Erin Kettley, but since she is working with the Jordan district, she is trying to build out a whole new advising program, and looks like it's going to be amazing when they get it up. Our once they get it all going and everything, they're hoping to be able to get some advisors for each one of the districts that can follow this program that she's doing, and they'll have more of a pathway. We won't be doing gen ed. We'll have more of a, they're trying to get classes set up. So like if students really want to get their associate's degrees, they can actually do that in MyCE in a pathway rather than just for gen ed. So it looks awesome. I haven't seen all of it yet, but what I have seen that she's doing a great job. However, she recently had some reactions, so she's out for this week. So I will introduce her next time. But yeah, you guys are gonna love her. So I'm gonna start with this concurrent on campus. They are currently testing two options. Or we are currently testing two options. The one that I liked kind of put it back to where we were before, where you guys could request, up to 3 courses. It didn't have to have a specific section. But they weren't liking that because then they have to build those classes. So what they're working on is something different, but you would have to have a specific section, but the students still would go in and register themselves. We just have to do the override like we used to. So we'll see which one works better. This will make it a little bit harder for students to go in and just register for classes and think they're registered and they're not. Because either way, we still have to give them that override to register for concurrent on campus. As soon as they finish testing it, I was hoping they would be done with all of that by now and I could give you guys a little more of an update, but as soon as they are done testing it, I will send out an email to you all to let you know what they've decided to do. But it will go either way. It will go back to where you guys have to send in a request. We give them an override and then they have to go in and register themselves. I'm not manually registering every one of the students and then coming back to you guys and saying, nope, couldn't register them. They'll know because they have to register themselves, whether or not they're registered. It will not change the deadlines. So they will still have that December 20th for spring semester and May 31st for fall semester deadlines to get it done. And then after that, they're out of luck because those seats are given back to our traditional students. The other thing it will not fix, either one of them, is the tuition issues. And I'm going to kind of go into the tuition issues here next. But so that's what concurrent on campus is looking like right now. It'll look very, very similar to what we used to do, either way that they decide to do it. But we will still have the new deadlines. We're still going to have the tuition issues, and depending on which one they choose, they may have to select specific CRNs rather than like saying, I just want English 10 and I can give them access to all English 10s. Any questions on that I might be able to answer?
Becky, I have a question.
Uh-huh.
Can we still request all sections open instead of a particular one?
That's what I was saying. It depends on which way they decide to go. If
Okay.
they go the way I want them to go, then yes. If they decide to go the other way, they'll have to have a specific CRN.
Thank you.
So, Did you have a question, Wendy?
Yeah, I was just wondering if you could put this, like, all this information, would you share that in the chat?
Well, I will have notes,
Okay,
and this is being recorded, so you'll be able to rewatch.
okay, perfect.
So,
Thank you.
but yeah, and like I said, once they decide which direction they're gonna go, then I'll be able to, I'll be sending out like a detailed information about it, so. Okay. Tuition issues. Everybody's been loving these tuition issues that we had. So because they got rid of the cross listing and students, concurrent on campus students are registering for the same classes our regular students are, there's been a lot of tuition issues, and it's mostly for the student. Well, it's specifically for the students that are both early enrollment and concurrent enrollment. So if they took an early enrollment over the summer, if they're early enrollment now and they're doing concurrent enrollment, they're getting tuition issues, the end. There's really no way to fix that. However, I did find a fix for the classes at the high school, which I found before they ever even did this. They told me not to do it. And I didn't fight. This time I was a little bit meaner about it and said, I am doing it this way and you guys can deal with it. And they said, wait a second. Okay, never mind, you're right. So that one is fixed. So for spring semester, if it is taught at the high school, it will be charged correctly. We won't have all these issues of students getting charged full tuition for a class they're taking at their high school. For the students that are taking the concurrent on campus, if they are also early enrollment, they're probably going to have tuition issues. And we're going to have to continue to manually fix those. So if you have a student that is doing both early enrollment and concurrent enrollment, you need to let them know to check their account. And if they see an issue, they need to, they can reach out to you and you can send me their name and I will look into it and have them fix it, or they can reach out to our cashier. And it will get manually fixed. Those are the two options there. They're still working on a better solution, but at least it won't be as widespread as it was for fall, where they were getting charged incorrectly, both for the on-campus and at the high school. So it'll be quite a bit less than it was this fall. Again, in the notes, like if they're getting that, you can email me or you can have the student call the cashier. That's either way works. I just wanted to kind of remind you guys of the deadlines. Deadlines were kind of messed up this year with all of the issues that we've had with the USHE application and then them all coming at the same time from USHE. It kind of backlogged our admissions office, and they were not really able to get it all done before the registration deadline. I kind of extended those a little bit nonchalantly and didn't really advertise that I extended it a little bit for these students that were really having issues getting that USHE application done. I did get a lot of students that kind of took advantage of that extension. I just need to remind you guys that these extensions are really meant for tech issues. They are not meant for students that just didn't get around to it or added late, and just, you know, the deadlines really need to be kind of held up, because I mean, I'm still to this day trying to deal with some of these students that that are doing late registrations and late applications. And I'm now starting to get a lot of the angry phone calls. So if we kind of try to hold on to those deadlines, it kind of reduces the frustration. So really only send those if they are really deserving of it, like they really tried and they, you know, weren't able to get it done. If it's concurrent on campus, those deadlines are not set by us, so they are following the same schedule as all of our traditional students, and they need to follow that academic calendar. And there is nothing I can do about that, other than, you know, they don't follow the same registration deadlines. They're going to have to follow this new registration deadline that they have given us of the May 31st and the December 20th. Any questions on deadlines? Okay, Just so you guys all know, I have been instructed by Brandon that I am not making any more late registration or late admissions or exceptions unless we're already working on those. So please don't call me because I have to go to Brandon and he's gonna tell me no. CMOL. Okay, so these are the ones that I am aware of for 25-26. So this goes into effect next school year. As you guys know, we got rid of biology 1400 and 1405 this year because they made some changes to the curriculum and it was too late for me to submit. So we had to just get rid of biology 1400 and 1405. They replaced that with environmental science 1400 and 1405. And I did get that approved for the 25-26 school year. So that will be coming back for 25-26. We also just recently got Geography 1000 reapproved, and it is going to be aligning to earth science. It used to be aligned to a social science at the high school, and now it is being realigned to earth science. Which also gets rid of Geography 1700. So our geography office found out that Geography 1700 is not transferring well to the other institutions. And they said, why are we offering this if it's not going to transfer to one of the other institutions? So they are getting rid of Geography 1700 for concurrent enrollment. And they are replacing that with the Geography 1000. That was the other thing that they found when they were doing their alignments is that Geography 1000 never should have been aligned to a social science. It's not a social science class. So Chem 1210 and 1215 are coming back. They finally got those approved for 25-26. And I am being warned that there's a possibility that they're going to be realigning all of our social sciences courses. So anything that aligns to social science at the high school may have to be realigned this year. So just be aware, like we may or may not be able to get them realigned. It just depends on if they match. So I haven't heard anything recently, but that was the last I heard is that they were probably going to request that we realign all of our social sciences classes. And I will give you guys updates as soon as I hear any of them. Anybody have any questions about the course alignments for 25-26?
Becky, this is Marley Jacobs. Will those changes show up on the one-year general ed certificate so that we know how to schedule with students?
Yep. They're already in the works of updating the one-year certificate. So
the other question around that is the geology 1010 was moved to geology 1020.
correct.
Will that show up as a part of the general ed, the 1020 to cover?
Yeah. Yep.
Okay.
I think Brandon was supposed to be working on that. I don't know if he's finished it, but I think he was kind of waiting to hear back what they're doing about the HLAC and the diversity requirements. So he hadn't submitted it yet. I'll have to ask him about that. I don't know if he showed up today. I don't think he did.
Great, thank you.
Becky,
Yeah.
I have a question. What is the age or grade for our students for the geography 1000, well, not geography, 1000 realigning to earth science?
What is the grade?
Yeah, or the age, because earth science is usually taught in 9th grade.
Yeah, it's anywhere from 9th to 12th.
Okay.
So.
Okay, thank you.
I believe that's what we put it in for is 9th through 12th on both the environmental science and the geography 1000. So. And it's the same alignment that geography 1700 used to go to. So. It's a CE earth science, I think is what it comes up as. But I will have when we update our class list, we'll have the codes and everything on there. Okay, anybody else? Any questions? As far as I know, none of the foreign languages are coming back. Those are going to be gone forever until, somebody in our foreign languages office decides that they want to do something again, we've just asked them to remove that completely from the master list, because we can't get our foreign languages department to do anything in there. So those are not going to be coming back. I am working on a PowerPoint training for all coordinators. I will send that out as soon as I get it done. It's slow going with everything else that I'm doing, but eventually I will have this all done. You can, if you hire a new secretary, you're welcome to share it with them. I will have it on our website when we get it done. But I'll send it out. I'll send it out to you all, and I will ask that you guys all at least try to watch it. You can watch it in double time. I don't care, but there might be some stuff in there that you guys just didn't know. I'm trying to make it as complete as possible so that you guys can kind of see everything, but I'll be sending that out. I'm hoping by the end of the year, end of this 2024 year. Sorry, I need to do not disturb my phone here. Sorry. Okay. Other thing is I am still getting requests on my CE for the SSID issues from people. I have asked multiple times to have that removed from my CE, because when it comes through to me, it doesn't really do anything. It doesn't show the correct information. It just comes in as a support request with the student's name, and that's it. It doesn't work in my CE. For the most part, SSID issues shouldn't be happening because we're using the USHE application now. So if you're sending in SSID requests, it's like I said, it comes in as a support request and we just resolve it. We're not doing anything with them. So if you're sending those in, don't. I mean, you can, but it's not gonna, it's just a waste of time. Like I said, if there are SSID issues, I will usually just email you at the end of the semester. They send me a list of the students that have SSID issues, and I will email you directly for those students to see if we can figure out why we're getting those issues. But they should not be happening if they've done the USHE application, because they have to match to do the USHE application. Just wanted to remind you guys, the on-campus request again is for spring semester is going to be December 20th. The schedule is supposed to be to us mid-October, and then registration is supposed to start November 1st, I believe. Either October, it's the very end of October or the beginning of November. Since they're still working on that process, I don't know the exact date, but I will make sure that you guys, that is included when they figure out what they're doing. Tuition's supposed to be due to September 20th. Again, with all the tuition issues, I wouldn't worry too much about it, but you will want to remind them. And then the last day to withdraw is November 1st for the regular classes, and January 10th for the year-long classes for fall. I don't know if I told you guys, or if you guys remember me telling you, all of our fall classes I got scheduled in our system as year-long classes. This was an idea I came up with to fix the issue we were having in spring semester, where we had classes that ended in like December, and their spring classes started in January, the beginning of January, and then we had other schools where their classes went all the way till almost the end of January, and their spring didn't start till the end of January. It was causing issues with Canvas. Me scheduling all of our fall classes as year-long classes allowed me to use a different code for spring, so we can start spring earlier, and then the fall kind of continues for as long as we need it to. With that, I need you guys to make sure you're checking your classes are marked correctly. So if you pull a report of all your classes at your high school, there should be a column in the report that shows whether they are marked as year-long or not. Just make sure all of your year-long classes are marked year-long, because I have to manually send a list to our IT people so that they can make sure that those year-long teachers continue to have access to Canvas till the end of the year, so that they're not getting cut off of my SLCC and campus. So just kind of, when you have time, go through and make sure that your year-long classes are marked as year-long, so that I know to send those teachers to IT. Next meeting is going to be on October 24th. Does anybody have any issues with that? Is that like a really bad time? I don't think I looked to see if it's like, a big holiday or time when all the schools are out. So if anybody has any idea if October 24th doesn't work, let me know. So I have some chat questions or comments.
Will it be at the same time?
Yes. I've been trying to do them on the, I think the third Thursday of every month at 1 o'clock. Unless there's a reason not to. Matt asked if they were still going to have a limited class option in the afternoon. I believe so. I think they're going to keep that same amount of classes. The environmental science, yes, we did get that approved to be on the core classes, so it will go towards the opportunity scholarship. And Carrie says that is our fall break. Yeah, October is going to be hard because there's going to be some schools that have that as a fall break. Is there any other schools that are out around October 24th?
Granite's okay.
Okay.
But Becky, it'll be recorded so we could go back if needed, right?
Yes, yes. So if Harriman has it fall break, then all of Jordan will be out during October 24th. Okay. I could move it, but I think that would probably run into the same issue with other districts and other schools. So I'm just going to plan to keep it on the 24th. If you can come, great. If not, it will be recorded. So I don't anticipate there being as many issues to go over on our next meeting. I'm hoping that they are done making some major changes for at least a minute. We got a new president this year, and he's very, very interested in concurrent enrollment. So what I do know is that the thing that's not going to change is change, because I can see it coming already. But for now, I'm hoping that we don't have much to deal with. So October 24th. And I think that's about all I have for right now. Does anybody have any other concerns or questions that they want to go over?
Becky, somebody added to the chat, when will the spring concurrent on-campus course list be available? And I have that question as well.
Okay, that's what I mentioned earlier. It's October, middle of October is when they come out with the schedule. And then registration will be end of October or early November.
Becky, I have a quick question about students who are using their AP English scores to waive out a 1010, English 1010. Is that process going to be the same as last year, where we're just going to email you a list of our students and make sure you guys have their AP scores because they won't be listed in?
No, you won't need to send me a list anymore, because as soon as we get them, they put it in as a test score. So it should be on my CE.
So it will show up on my CE this year.
It will show up on my CE now. So if that's not there, then we probably do not have them. She's been really, they've been actually really good about getting those in.
Good. Okay.
I had a bunch this fall that were questionable, and it turned out we got them all at the same time. And so I know we got a bunch of AP scores just recently that they put in. So, and they go through them pretty quickly.
Perfect. Thank you.
We are still dealing with a few little hiccups in my CE. You may be missing some students. Hopefully they will have those fixed soon. When they were changing some stuff around to get all of the concurrent on-campus classes to come into my CE, something got messed up where if a student had more than one high school listed on our side, it was uploading into my CE without a high school at all. And so you guys can't see those students. I can see them, but you guys cannot see them. So they're supposed to be fixing that. I'm hoping it's soon. But yeah, you will not be able to see some of your students there. And there was a couple of little things that I'm finding. But yeah, if you are missing a student, go ahead and send a support request and I will look into it and find out why they're missing. And if it's a high school, a duplicate or a student that has more than one high school or something that IT is already working on, I will have to keep it in processing until until they fix that, because there's not really anything I can do to make them move faster. I try, but they don't think I'm that cool. The recordings are going to be on the coordinator website. So if you go to the slcc.edu/concurrent enrollment page, and then you go to the CE coordinators page, it is going to be under the webinar archives. Rachel, I'm going to say yes, they need the HLAC, because I have been bugging our provost's office, and I have, every time I call them, they're like, oh, you have to ask this person, oh, you have to ask this person, oh, you have to ask this person, and I've never gotten a straight answer. So I would just say yes, have them do the HLAC, because I don't know. Homeschool students, how can they apply to SLCC? Homeschool students do not qualify for concurrent enrollment. They have to be associated with the law says that they have to be counted in the average daily membership of a participating school. And a participating school has to have an ACT code. Our applied technology centers do not have an ACT code. So a participating school has to be like their home high school. So the agenda was attached to the calendar invite, but I'm happy to send that back out if you want. CMGT or ELI classes. I believe those are still being available. If well, I not on our campus. Those usually are not offered on our campus. We've had a couple of them. Those ones are kind of hard ones because those are all moving to tech credit, but nobody really knows what tech credit is yet. So that was another state legislated thing that they said do this, but we don't know what it really is. So a lot of these tech programs, you can reach out to Salt Lake Technical College. I know that a lot of their programs are free to high school students. So your students could potentially go and do one of their certificate programs. But I don't know a lot about it. I don't know which programs those are. So you may just want to have your students reach out to one of their advisors. Yeah, you still have to get an RFR, but those are very quick and easy to do. We just say, yeah. we don't even look at them twice. Okay, you guys are welcome to go if you don't have any other questions. If you do, I'll sit here for a minute in case somebody wants to ask or has something they need to discuss. Thank you. How would I get courses from the Master CE course list into the SLCC CE course list? So Auto 1010 and Auto 1150 is one of the ones that is moving to tech credit. So we took it off of our list, but because they really don't know what the tech credit is, they're still allowing some of the high school student or the high schools to offer those classes as CE. I will say that because they are getting college credit for them. But those college credits don't really go towards anything. It's just empty college credit. It's not really something that I suggest. They can still do it, but it's only being offered at the high schools as concurrent enrollment for the high schools that have been doing it until they figure out what to do about the tech credit stuff. On our campus, it is already tech credit. It's part of their tech programs. Thank you, guys. Thank you all for all your great questions and hanging in there with all these changes that they keep making. Does anybody have any specific questions they wanted to talk to me about before I go?
I do have more questions on the tech credit for the CMGT as well as the automotive. I'm just
Mhm.
wondering, how would I help students get those classes? I have a few requesting those.
Like I said, they probably need to go through the Salt Lake Technical College and talk to one of their advisors. Like I said, I don't know about those programs. I don't know a lot about the technical college programs, especially since they've changed so many things.
Okay.
And what's available to them. So I would have them reach out to them and see if there's a program that they can get into. I said, I know there's a few that they can do for free as high school students, so.
Okay, I'll reach out to them. Thank you.
In conjunction with that, so we offer welding 1005, 1110, and 1111 here at Highland.
Yeah,
If the kids take those through concurrent enrollment and then go to the tech center, do they recognize?
it still works as at the tech center.
Okay. It just doesn't,
So-
essentially isn't worth the college credit.
It's
side.
not, it's just not
Okay.
really worth the college credit.
Okay, perfect. Thank you.
Okay, I'm going to end. If you have any questions, you can give me a call.